Adma Namaste. Welcome to the September full moon meditation. Before we start, let's ask for divine blessing. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the spiritual elders, to all the holy masters, to all the saints, to all the holy archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers, personally to my beloved and respected teacher, Master Chua Hok Sui, Mahaguru Jimailing, we humbly invoke for divine light, divine love, divine guidance, help, healing, and protection. Thank you for blessing us with a loving heart, an intelligent mind, and a powerful will that we may serve God and serve humanity. We thank you for these blessings. We thank you for this great opportunity to be of service. We thank you in full faith. So be it. All right, to the people of the world, welcome again. To all of you who are here, welcome to this full moon meditation. To a lot of you who are new, what we usually do is what Master Cho instructed. What he said at that time is, every time you do full moon meditation, take that opportunity to share some spiritual teachings, especially for the people who are new. So what we try to do is we pick some topic every month to share some insights. And one of the very popular one that people always talk about is karma. So we'll just give you a little bit of what I personally have learned from the teacher. We'll make it simple and applicable. Now, as far as karma is concerned, essentially it means cause and effect. All right? Now, it's the law of karma, not the opinion of karma. So some people say, oh, I don't believe it. Whether you believe it or not, or I believe it, does not change anything. It's just like the law of gravity. You don't believe in gravity. You walk off a building, you'll believe it eventually. You get my point? So it's the law of karma, just like the law of gravity. Now, the interesting thing is, you have the law of gravity and you have different, just say, theorems or different laws that you also learn in physics on how to use gravity. That said, you have this golden rule that are basically rules or techniques on how to utilize the law of karma. In other words, you have this law that's already there. In other words, whatever you plant, you'll harvest. For every effect, you'll have a cause before it. So cause and effect. Now, you already have this law. The question is, how do you utilize that law that is existing? So according to Master Choa, that's why you have the golden rules. Now the golden rules in the Old Testament, you have, do not do this, thou shalt not do this, do not unto others as you don't want them done unto you. In the New Testament, the Lord Jesus says, do unto others what you want them done unto you. These are like yin and yang. So these two rules actually are rules or techniques on how to use that law that is already existing called the law of karma. So essentially, since everything you plant will eventually come back, so the negative golden rule basically says in everyday English is, whatever you don't want, you don't plant. If you don't want apple tree, don't plant an apple seed. Okay? Then on the other hand, the positive golden rule says, whatever you want, that's what you plant. So if you want an apple tree, you plant an apple seed. So this law of karma is quite interesting because, you know, some people think it's Hindu, but they don't realize this teaching is universal. You know, most of you have heard in Galatians, in the New Testament, St. Paul said, whatever you sow, you will reap. Okay, in every tradition, Buddhist, Islam, Hindu, every tradition talks about the law of karma. Now, to take it a little deeper, it's something like this. If you do not have a soul, if you do not have a spiritual self, you don't have to worry about law of karma. That's part one. Part two, if there's no concept of oneness, you don't also have to worry about karma. Because karma is hinged on these two things. The soul or the spiritual self, by incarnating and learning lessons, will either plant good seeds or bad seeds. So the soul, the spiritual self, in order to learn physical lessons, puts on a physical suit or a physical vehicle. That is our physical body. So with our physical body, you can use that physical body to help someone in need. And when we're angry, sometimes we use that physical body to hurt people. So we can plant good seeds or bad seeds. Then the soul, in wanting to experience feeling, learning emotional lessons, will use the emotional body as a vehicle in order to plant good and bad seeds. So the way you do it is, if the soul wants to show love and compassion and mercy, it uses this emotional body by being nurturing and caring. Now, if the soul uses the emotional body to hurt people, it shows anger, greed, it shows envy, it shows jealousy. So essentially the soul uses the emotional body to create emotional karma or emotional causes and effects. Then the soul uses a mental vehicle or mental instrument to generate thoughts. Now these thoughts could be good or bad thoughts. So good thoughts that you plant uses essentially, just like the soul uses this computer or this mechanism called the mental body to generate positive thoughts. And it uses the same machinery to create negative thoughts. You with me so far? So essentially, this law of karma is already there. But the soul, by using certain instruments like the physical body, emotional, mental body, would either follow the golden rules well or not follow it. So if they don't follow it well, they start planting bad seeds, then eventually comes back as bad fruit. Now, that's one part. The second part is like this. How does the law of karma actually work when something comes back to you? You ask yourself, well, I beat up someone, I beat them up. Well, how does it eventually come back to me? Without the concept of the soul, this thing is impossible to understand. Because how could you have that boomerang effect? That boomerang effect only happens if you truly understand the nature of the soul. So if you remember, Mr. Einstein said E is equal to mc squared, right? But the soul is not that type of energy. The soul is spiritual energy with consciousness and intelligence. But that energy is pure energy with absolutely no mass or no matter. You see, E is equal to mc squared, there's still m. But the spiritual self or the soul, just imagine, it does not have m. So it's just pure energy. So the closest thing is pure light. Now, if you think about it, you know, although what you're sitting on or what you're touching is solid, it's not really solid. Because these particles, this thing that you're touching is made up of molecules. In between molecules, you have a space. These molecules are made of atoms, and between atoms are what? The spaces. The atom is basically a nucleus and a bunch of electrons, one or how many electrons moving around. In between there is a space. Now, why is it that in science it says no two physical things could occupy the same space at the same time? Because as long as you have this physical matter, then you cannot enter that space. The only thing that could enter that space is something that has no matter. It has to be pure energy. And guess what? That's what the soul is. The soul is pure energy with absolutely no mass. So, with that in mind, just imagine if you have ice cubes, it's solid. By the time it melts, what do you have? A puddle of water. True, it's kind of mixed together, but because of surface tension, you still have a certain shape. Now what happens when it evaporates? It becomes water vapor. Where does it go? It goes into the atmosphere. Can you differentiate where the ice cube is? You can't. It just dissolves into the atmosphere. So just imagine the spiritual self or the soul, you're occupying this physical body. You use the physical body, the emotions and the thoughts to move around and function. So at that point, there's individuality. It's separate. Then, what happens? You shed the body. When the body dies, the emotions, the thoughts, then you go to your original state, which is pure energy. Now, this pure energy is now not restricted by physical matter. So that so-called molecules, atoms, and so on, that space is now completely permeable. So at some point, when the different bodies die, then you just essentially mixing with an ocean of light. When you're mixing an ocean of light, although there's a certain level of consciousness and individuality, you're swimming in an ocean where the consciousness merges as one. That's what you call oneness. Now, it's just like you're sitting in the pool, you take something that is hurtful, let's say poison. You put it in the water. If you're in the water, eventually what happens? You poison the entire pool. So just imagine, since we are part of this gigantic ocean of light, whatever you do will affect the entire group. As it affects the entire pool, eventually it will affect you. So the law of karma is hinging on the fact that, number one, you are a spiritual self with consciousness and intelligence and a being of pure light or pure energy. Then that being of pure energy is not individual. It is individual, but at the same time, it's part of a big network. So whatever you do to others, you touch that big network, whatever you inject into it will eventually affect you. So that's why the law of karma and the essence of the soul, as well as oneness, all of this work together. Now, to put it in practical terms, if I remember correctly, Annie Besant in the Theosophical Society, she was saying, death do you no favors. So some people, when life gets very difficult, what do is they kill their body. Suicide. But the problem is, the karma does not go with the body, it goes with the soul. So the easiest way to explain it is something like this. If you win the lottery, and you suddenly move somewhere that's more comfortable, you want to retire, you don't suddenly lose that money. If you rack up a big credit card bill, by moving somewhere, it doesn't mean that you don't have to pay it. Because the profit or the income and the debt does not go with the residence, it goes with the entity who agreed to it. So the soul, using the physical body as a residence, the emotional, physical, emotional, mental body in that particular lifetime, create certain karma, certain causes. So the registry of the effect of what they do is not on the body, it's on the soul. So when you drop the body, the emotions, the thoughts, the karma goes with the soul. That's why the soul, as it goes through different lifetimes, carries a record of the good things and the bad things we do. You get what I'm saying? Now, Messenger, of course, take it one step further. That's why he said it's very, very important that you, if you're serious about your spiritual path, to do service and tithing. Because if your heart is already in the right place, you want to serve other people, think about it. If you have the right heart, the right intention, but you're low on resources. You know, if a person's very poor, doesn't have much resources, but they really want to change the world, no matter how good that intention is, without the proper resources and people to help them, their range of service is limited. But if you have somebody who has billions and billions, and you have the right heart, the right intention, you can move mountains. So the way he explained is something like this. When you go through one lifetime and you generate good karma, you do not exhaust all that karma in one lifetime, assuming you continue to do what you do. So when you come back, assuming you will continue your spiritual practice, your service, which I don't see why you wouldn't, then it'll be easier to fulfill your destiny if you have the right people, you have the right resources to help you fulfill your destiny. To entitle you to have that, you have to have good karma from before. So some people who talk about karma, I remember people say, karma is often looked at something negative. Yeah, it must be my negative karma, that's why I have you as friends or family or whatever. You know, they always look at it as something negative, but in reality, you should also look at it, the reason I have all of you as my friends, it must be my good karma. It goes both ways. So one of the things Master explained is the law of karma is actually the law of entitlement. We entitle ourselves to have a good life. We also entitle ourselves to a bad life. That it's a matter of the soul's choice. Now that said, to take it a little further, the way Master explains is like this. By the fruits, you have some idea what the seeds that were planted. So he was explaining in many of the classes, number one, as you see what's going on, you have the solution. So it goes around with, the way he explained is, how do you neutralize the negative karma? Because we already talk about how to generate good karma. How do you neutralize negative karma? Well, it's kind of obvious. So the way he explained it is, if a person has physical ailments, the way to neutralize that negative karma is helping other people who have health problems. So you're saying, maybe the reason I have this health issue is maybe in the past sometime, I might have caused physical pain to someone. Now when you say, well, I'm a nice person, I've never hurt anyone, that's the one I always hear. Like for example, when you do healing someone, and you say, maybe this severe ailment is due to some karma, so why don't you go out and take time to help people, give money to charity, so on and so on. And people would say, you talk about karma, this person that you're healing could never hurt a fly. They're such a good person, what do you mean they're bad people? Then you say, hello, when I say past, we didn't say 5 years, 10 years, because the karma does not go with the body. The karma goes with the soul. So you don't know what they did in the previous lifetime. It's just like people say, you know, this guy is such a terrible person. I don't know why his life is so good. Well, it must be good from something he planted before. You go, well, yeah, ever since I've known him, he's been greedy, he's been a jerk, he's been a terrible person. Based on what you know. Remember, the karma goes with the soul, not the body. So the way Master Shah explained it is you focus on the solution. The solution is, if you know someone with physical ailments, you know, you plant the right seed to change the karma. Okay, I think some of you look lost. Let's put it this way. Watch. The law of karma is like the law of gravity. If I drop this, because of gravity, it will just keep going, correct? Now, if I don't want it to drop, what do? You introduce another force that will prevent it from going in that direction. So essentially, just like the law of gravity, the law of karma goes a certain way because of a certain cause that was generated. If nothing is done, it will continue to go on that path until something is done to change it. So essentially, if you don't like what's happening in your life and you don't do anything, it will continue. But if something is going on, you don't like it, you introduce an equal and opposing force to divert it and change it. So that's exactly what you're doing. If somebody has bad health, instead of doing nothing, you do your best by how? Obviously, you will do medical care and all that and healing and so on and so on. But karmically, you do your best to give money to charity, do healing, help other people with health problems. Okay, financial problem. Financial problem is due to some form of financial harm done to someone before. So, what is the solution? The same thing. You try to help someone be financially better. You give money to charity. If they're having difficulty, cannot have food, you give money to charity, they're able to eat, they can use that money to help them. So money is used to plant a new type of seed. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, relationship problem. Relationship problem is usually due to some form of emotional pain that was caused to other people. So you think about it, okay, so how do I change the course? Again, if I don't do anything, this thing continues. So, if I want to change it, I have to introduce something to change its course. So if there's emotional problem, relationship problem, let me do some meditation. When I do meditation, make sure I bless people who are having emotional pain. Let me make sure and go counsel or help people who are having family problems or whatever. So the whole idea is whatever you want to correct, you take the necessary steps to overcome it by generating the karma that fixes it. So instead of saying, oh yeah, it must be my karma, my life is doomed, instead of saying, okay, since it's already here, what is the way to change it? So that's a constructive way of looking at it. Now some people say it's something like this. They go, well, where does free will come into play? Where is predestination and where's karma? And where's the choice? So people say, yeah, you know, I'm already destined to do this, what can I do? The interesting part is this. I remember Master Shah saying, he said, and here's what essentially he said, the law of karma is a spiritual technology to create and navigate your future. So when you incarnate, you already came with a certain karma, a certain, how do you call it, profit and loss statement of the soul. So if you don't like it, basically you try to change it. What you do is you use the golden rule, plant what you want, and abstain from planting what you don't want. So what you're doing, you have a bank account of positive karma and negative karma. You're working with that. Do you get what I'm saying? Or is this too mental for you guys? That's the way he taught it. So now this karma is usually easiest way to understand when you do service. When you do service, you're continuously planting good seeds. Planting good seeds. So let's focus on that part. After all, full moon, that's what you're doing here. You're not just got nothing else to do at home, so you decide to sit and watch this video and do nothing. So when we do meditation, you are doing a form of yang meditation or yang service. You have yin and yang. Yin is the form. So I remember one time Master Cho was saying, in ancient China or in ancient civilization, you have two types of monks. You have monks that sit in the mountain, in the monastery, do intense meditation, bring down massive amount of spiritual energy, and project blessings down to the village. Then you have the second type of monk who come down from the monastery and beg for food and teach. So I remember he was saying, you know why these people would actually come down and beg for food when they have food in the monastery? To give the people an opportunity to open their heart chakra. You say, what do you mean open their heart chakra? Yeah, if you see somebody hungry, even if you don't want to, okay, you need food, here. Even if you give forcefully, the heart chakra still inches open. Okay, let me take it another way. How many of you ever heard that say, when you give, you have to give willingly? You heard that before, right? So does that mean when you don't give willingly, nothing happens? Do you understand the question? You know, there are people who are forced to give. The way the teacher explained it is something like this. He said, when you give, and you give willingly, you have the good karma of the money or whatever you give helping them. Plus, since you give willingly, there's also the karma of planting good emotions. So what comes back to you is the prosperity karma plus the good karma of feeling, yeah, it feels good to help people. Okay? So there's two types. Now if you say, here, hope it make you happy. The money still helps them. So there still be prosperity karma. What you did not get is the good karma of what? Planting good emotions. So when you go like, oh, here, hope you don't choke on it. Right? When it comes back to you, see, giving is so terrible. Ugh. So that's the negative karma you get from planting negative seeds. But the money still hits its target. It's just like, whether you like it or not, when you plant the seed on the soil, even go, if the conditions are right, it'll still grow. So if you're smart, to get both karma, you have what? You give, and you give it willingly, so you have the prosperity karma as well as what? The good emotional karma. Do you get my point? That's why he was saying, you know, there are certain cultures where they're forced to give. They're prosperous, but they're not happy. They're prosperous, but what? They're not happy because they're forced to give. So the money still hits the soil, so there's still a rate of return. But since they did it out of force, they did not get the happiness that would normally come from it, the satisfaction or the joy that, hey, I actually helped someone. So when you do meditation during the full moon, you're using yang time of service. You help through meditation project good energy to people in need. Then in addition to that, in using your physical body, you should also give money to charity. You should also do healing, help people in the physical world so that you have both yin and yang service. How are we doing so far up to here? You guys good? All right. So some of the people who have been asking questions, they always say, well, how do I know how much karma I still have? There's no way to know. Even the best clairvoyants can make mistakes. In fact, you heard of the Heisenberg effect? Come on, it's a big word. It makes me feel like I'm smart. Okay. Heisenberg effect says the act of observing something could affect it. So sometimes, if you're not meant to know, even you ask the best clairvoyant, the best scanner to do it, it will be hidden from them because by you knowing, it could affect your outcome. So that's where the teachings come in. Whether you have somebody confirming it or for you or not, the law of karma stands. Positive golden rule, negative golden rule. You do not base your life on what some person who sees the inner world tells you to do. If something is right, it is right whether they see it or not. You don't say, well, the clairvoyant says, or the psychic said, or whatever, I did this divination says, you know, I should not do service. Whether what they say it or not, it's the right thing to do. You want more, or this is too much for you? Huh? One thing Master Cho said that's very interesting is like this. The more advanced the soul is, the less these outside things affect you. Things like astrology, biorhythm, so on and so on. If the spiritual connection is bigger, the less these other things affect you. Now, ordinary people that are not yet serious about their spiritual path, since the spiritual connection is so small, then these other external things affect them more. When the spiritual gets bigger and bigger, those things affect them less. affect them less. That's why you'll notice the more you do your meditation and spiritual practice, the less accurate people who read your aura. and read your future. Because when they read, unless they're spiritually very developed, they are reading the external and peripheral influences. And if the spiritual cord is big, your life is driven by the higher soul, not by these things. It's inverse. When the spiritual cord is small, then these peripheral things affect them more. Do you get my point? So the solution to all of it really is you're the captain of your own ship. As you do your spiritual practice more and more, the higher soul has more influence over your life. Now that said, let's do meditation. Okay, so let's ask for blessings. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, we humbly invoke for your blessings. Personally, to my teacher, Master Choa Sui Mahaguju Mailing, we humbly invoke for your blessings. Thank you for this great opportunity to be of service. In full faith, so be it. Now, before we continue, one of the ways to make the meditation more intense is to have a bigger channel. You say, well, how can I make a bigger channel? What you do is you harness the energy channels of other people. How many of you notice that when you meditate in a group, it's more powerful than when you meditate by yourself? Because this spiritual cord, when you're meditating by yourself, it will increase to allow more energy to come in. But if you're in a group of people, each person's spiritual cord becomes wider. At some point, it almost merges like a gigantic tunnel. Now, since you're not the body, as you do a certain affirmation to connect to all souls and all beings, it's as if we are in one gigantic stadium, millions of people meditating at the same time. And it's interesting, during the full moon, many, many different traditions also do meditation. Okay? So, shall we? We'll do the affirmation of I am taught by Master Choa Kok Sui. So put your hand on your heart. Repeat with me. I am that I am. I'm not the body. I'm not the emotions. I'm not the thoughts. I am the soul. I'm a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am that I am, the soul. Allow your awareness to hover above your crown. Repeat after me. I am the soul. I am the soul. Allow your awareness to drift higher, higher. Repeat after me. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am that I am, the higher soul, the Atma in me, the higher self. I am that I am. Allow your awareness to drift even higher. Just let go. I am connected in one to the divine spark in me. I'm a child of God. I'm one with God. I'm one with all. There's only oneness. I am that I am. One with God and one with all. Just listen. You're not the body, you're not the emotion, you're not the thoughts, you're the soul. You're a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. You're connected in one with your higher soul. You're connected in one with the divine spark in you. You're a child of God, you're one with God, you're one with all. There's only oneness. Be still and let go. You're one with God, you're one with all. There's only oneness. Now imagine you're inside a big bright sun looking out into the solar system. Repeat after me. We are one. We are one with God, we are one with all. And in this oneness, we bless our beloved Mother Earth. Raise your hands in blessing position as you maintain that stillness and awareness and that state of oneness. Look out into the solar system. Look at our beloved Mother Earth. We will do the meditation Twin Hearts as taught to us by Grandmaster Chok Sui. Be aware of your heart. Be aware of the love within your heart. Imagine a beautiful pink light from your heart flowing through your hands, filling our beloved Mother Earth. We will use the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Wherever there is hatred, let me sow love. Allow your soul, allow your entire being to be simply an instrument of God's peace and love. Bless every person, every being with peace and with love. Where there is injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. Think of some of the people that we have hurt. Just silently say, I have learned from my mistake. I'm very sorry that I've hurt you. I humbly ask for your forgiveness. And I forgive myself. To all who have hurt me, we are all children of God. We are all evolving and growing. I've learned from my mistakes, so can you. God's peace and love be with my soul. God's peace and love be with you. You're completely forgiven. Go in peace. Release all these people that have hurt you so you may have peace and love. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Think of some of the people you know who are going through difficult times in their life. May they be blessed with hope and faith and a better life. Now bless the people in different countries that are suffering. You know, there are many countries that are at war or having difficulties. Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq, many different countries. A lot of them don't even make the news. The refugees that are in transit, a lot of them are suffering. Allow God's love, peace, and mercy to flow through us. Bless them with light, with love, with peace, with hope and faith, and a better life. Bless the people in Syria, bless the people of Afghanistan, Iraq, and all the other countries in the world that have people who are suffering. Allow your soul, allow your heart to be an instrument of God's peace, love, and compassion. So be it now. So there's darkness, light, sadness, joy. May every person, every being be blessed with peace, with love. May they be blessed with a spirit of forgiveness and reconciliation. May they be blessed with hope and faith, light and joy. So be it. So be it. Maintain your state of stillness. Maintain your state of oneness. Be aware of your heart. Be aware of the love within your heart. Take a deep breath. Lift it up, 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 up to the crown. And exhale. Again, be aware of the love within your heart. Take a deep breath. Lift it up to the crown. And exhale. Gently, one more time, be aware of your heart. Take a deep breath. Lift up the loving energy up to the crown. And exhale. And stay there. Be still. Your crown is filled with beautiful golden light. Allow the golden light from your crown to flow down through your hands to our beloved Mother Earth. From the heart of God, may every person, every being be blessed with loving kindness, with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. Allow your soul to be an instrument of peace, of love, and kindness to every person and every being. Bless the countries again that are in need: Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa. There are many, many places in the world that people and beings are suffering. Allow ourselves to be an instrument to bring God's blessings to these places. Say, so be it. So be it. May all be blessed with peace, love, and kindness. So be it. Now be aware of your heart, be aware of your crown. Imagine golden light from both the heart and the crown flowing down through your hands to the entire earth. From the center of the heart of God, may every person, every being in the higher worlds, the middle worlds, even the lower worlds, in all 8 directions above and below, may all beings in all dimensions be blessed with loving kindness. May every person, every being be blessed with inner peace and inner healing. May all be blessed with understanding, harmony, goodwill, and the willingness to do good. So be it. Allow the golden light to flood your family, blessing them with peace, love, and happiness. The people you work with, the city you live in. Let the golden light spread to the country that you're from. Let it spread to each continent. Let it fill up the entire earth. From the center of the heart of God, may every person, every being, without exception, be divinely blessed. So be it. So be it. So it is. Maintain your state of oneness. Maintain your state of stillness. Allow the blessings to flow through us as one. May all be divinely blessed. So be it. May all be blessed, without exception. So be it, so be it, and so it is. Blessings be to all. Now gently lower your hands on your lap. Maintain your stillness and awareness. Above your crown, imagine a beautiful golden flame. Look at that golden flame. Simultaneously be aware of the love within your heart. From your heart, send a beautiful stream of loving energy up, up, up to the crown and into the flame. Again, send a loving stream of energy from your heart up, up, up to the crown and into the flame. The flame is getting brighter and brighter. Maintain your stillness and awareness on the beautiful golden flame. Listen to the mantra Om and gently meditate on the silence and the nothingness in between each Om. Allow your awareness to just gently drift deeper and deeper into that nothingness. Allow your awareness to go deeper into that nothingness. Fill it up with your complete awareness. Let go. Amen. Be still. Be aware. And just simply let go. Now. the soul, the spiritual self, be immersed in brilliant light now. Let go. Gently, very, very slowly, come back to your body. Gently move your fingers and your toes. Gently and slowly come back to your body now. Let's raise our hands to release the excess energy your body cannot absorb. First, visualize your family and your loved ones. Bless them with beautiful golden light. May all of them be blessed with good health, happiness, prosperity, and spirituality. May they be blessed with lots and lots of happiness. So be it. Bless the people you work with. Bless your job. Bless it with success, with your career, with advancement and progress. Bless the city you live in, the country. Let the blessings spread throughout the entire earth. Let all be blessed, so be it. So be it. Now, if you have certain projects, if you have certain goals or aspirations that need to be blessed, you can harness all this energy coming through us. Visualize it in full manifestation. Bless it with golden light. In the name of the Divine Supreme God, may all your projects, all your goals, your aspirations, the ones that took Kriya Shakti, your Kriya Shaktis, be blessed by God. May all these goals and aspirations be divinely blessed. As your heart desires, so be it. So be it. The blessings of God, with the help of my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahaguji Mailing, let these goals be materialized rapidly. In God's will, so be it properly. So it is. So it is. Bless your goals and aspirations with success. So be it. So be it. Now be aware of your feet and the base of your spine. Let's bless our beloved Mother Earth. Imagine beautiful streams of golden light filling up the earth below you. Repeat with me. Let our beloved Mother Earth be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let our beloved Mother Earth be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. Blessings be to Mother Earth. Blessings be to all. So be it, and so it is. Let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother. We thank you for your great, great blessings. To our beloved and respected teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahaguji Mailing, to all the great ones, all the spiritual teachers, spiritual elders, to all the saints of all traditions, to all the holy archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers. We thank you for these great blessings. We thank you for this great opportunity to be of service to humanity. We thank you for all these blessings with tremendous gratitude, lots of respect, and lots of love. We thank you. In full faith, so be it. All right, you may open your eyes. How's the meditation? You very good? The ones who are watching, are you on the floor or are you up? Anyway, thank you all for joining this meditation. The ones who are watching, I hope you will continue doing your spiritual practice. Anyway, somewhere here, there's a button. Leave your feedback right here. Let me scan. Right here. Okay. Anyway, Atma Namaste. God's and teachers' blessing be with you. Good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Bye.